Hi, my name's Ellen and this is my special perspective video for 2018. So, even though I'm 24 years old and no longer in the education system, and although I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was 20, I thought I'd give a little brief sort of summary of my experience, good and bad, in the education system. So primary school, I had mixed results. I had a teacher who was absolutely lovely. She made a fuss over a piece of handwriting I'd done, showed it to the whole class, gave a big woohoo and said, "This is absolutely amazing, Ellen. I'm going to go ahead and laminate it and give it to your mum," and that's what she did. And that, I didn't realise at the time, was actually a really significant part of my education and a really big deal. It meant that my mum made a huge fuss over my handwriting and I really felt quite special. I had another teacher though who was not great. In grade 3, I was diagnosed with a non-verbal learning disability and social anxiety. We had a meeting with my teacher to explain why I was refusing to go to school, and she promptly said, "I don't believe in learning disabilities or mental health problems. I'll make my own judgments about my own children." From then on, my life was made an absolute misery. She would tell me that I wasn't trying hard enough, that my handwriting was awful, despite the fact that I had dyspraxia. She would tell me that I was purposely sabotaging my work and that I wasn't doing well enough in front of all of the other students. She then, when I went up to her to get my pen license, told me that I didn't deserve it because I hadn't been trying hard enough, my handwriting wasn't good enough, and I wasn't going to get it. In the end, she only gave me my pen license because I was moving on to grade 5, and I had to according to the school, and that's why she gave it to me. So overall, that was really not a good experience, and bullying from my peers also really didn't make my primary school experience a very great one. The school's lack of understanding about anxiety really didn't help. They felt that I should just be forced to go to school and that I was just being a naughty little girl who didn't want to attend, and the vice principal and the principal really had no idea, didn't seem to care, and just told my parents that they were bad parents. Moving on to high school, I unfortunately didn't leave the bullying behind. I had kids who just made fun of me non-stop. There was one girl in particular who made my life an absolute misery. We then went to the Year 8 level coordinator to hopefully enact their no bullying policy. And during the meeting, she promptly fell asleep and started snoring. The girl was made to apologise, but you could tell that it made no bit of difference, and it just continued on, and in the end I actually ended up moving schools. And that really was the thing that saved my life. In Year 8, when I was still at my old school, I was battling depression, anxiety, suicidal tendencies, suicide attempts, and just really was struggling to go to school. My mum and my dad, but especially my mum, were my biggest advocates throughout this whole period. They were going to the school, they were letting them know what was going on, and they were really fighting for me hard, and that really was what got me through. Them forcing me to move schools also made a huge difference. It meant that I was able to go to a smaller school with less children. I was able to make amazing friends that I'm still friends with today, and the teachers were just generally a lot more understanding. Even though they did let me use my laptop during class, I did have an instance where they didn't really get it. I was due to put in my CEAS application so I could use my laptop during exams in Year 12, and they promptly said, "Oh, we had a blind boy who needed a CEAS application done. Do you need the same things that the blind boy needed?" I said, "Hang on, I'm not blind. I've just got a non-verbal learning disability, and unbeknownst to me, autism." So that was a bit frustrating, and in the end, Mum and I had to put the CEAS application in 1 week before they were due in because the other teachers didn't know what to do. Overall, though, it was a wonderful school, and changing schools really changed my life. And Mum and Dad were really my biggest advocates. They really pushed hard for me. They let my teachers know what I needed. And in the end, because of them, I was able to get access to great education that I had, and it enabled me to be able to finish high school, which I know a lot of people on the autism spectrum can't. I'd like to just finish by talking about what I feel like needs to change. This is not education related, but something that desperately needs to change is diagnosis of women and girls on the autism spectrum. My mum is a speech pathologist, and she's still to this day seeing paediatricians who won't diagnose girls with autism, even though it's clear that they have them. There's things of, oh, she has empathy, or oh, she's got imaginative play, when actually really we're just copying what we see other people do. I feel like if I'd had a diagnosis of autism, then it would have made a huge difference to my schooling life. I could have told my peers why I was different. I could have told my teachers why I was different, and really it just would have made a huge difference to my schooling life in general, and I would have been able to explain to teachers what my specific needs were, understand that what I was experiencing was actually overload and sensory issues, and it would have made a huge difference. Also, I think there needs to be more teacher training done for teachers so that they can learn about all the different learning disabilities and mental health conditions that are associated with autism. Autism is this huge one that teachers need to learn about, but I think they also need to learn about all the other little learning disabilities like NVLD, dyspraxia, and all that kind of stuff that can come with having autism. I feel like it's getting better, but I feel like there's still a lot that needs to be done, and teachers need to be more understanding of kids with additional needs and be able to give them their own space, give them their own learning style, and really help them to succeed in life and succeed in their schooling education, because I'm still hearing stories of teachers who are just not getting it and really not looking after their kids. Overall, I just want to say to all the kids who are still in high school and primary school, keep fighting. It will get better. I know it seems really hard right now and really difficult, but once I finished high school and found what I wanted to do, it just became so much easier, and my life is wonderful now. And I really accredit it to those few teachers that I had that just really made my life a huge difference and supported me, and also to my parents, my mum especially. She's my best friend, she's my advocate, she's my carer. She's just the reason why I've succeeded in life and the reason why I got through high school. So even though you might be hating your parents right now as a teenager, they really want the best of you, and they really will mean the world to you as you get older. So keep fighting. School, you will finish it, it will get better, and just keep going. Thanks.